What do you think about this book?
This book is very unique, much like Alton Brown himself.
Oh, very good. What's your favorite recipe from it?
My favorite recipe, the meatballs.
Oh, okay.
The meatballs are my favorite recipe.
So, let's do the meatballs.
I want to do a dessert.
But what about the meatballs?
The meatballs can wait any other day.
Okay, fine.
Many of you are familiar with Alton Brown's style of cooking instruction, made famous from his show Good Eats, which ran from 1999 to 2001, and with creative camera work and an extra dose of educational presentation, introduced many of us to cooking concepts and clever tricks to ensure that our food was never disappointing. It sprouted its own companion books of the same name, but these are not the books we're going to talk about today. Today's book is called Everyday Cook by Alton Brown. It's the only cookbook with a picture of Alton Brown eating French fries in bed. And it is quite special because it is the one where he invites us to partake in recipes that he makes for himself at home on a regular basis. And I will say, after using this book for about a year, I found that Everyday Cook has possibly the most random array of recipes I've seen in one book so far. From barley water to roasted chicken to catfish tacos to overnight oats. While I give this book high marks for fun and uniqueness, I would advise the cookbook consumer to beware that not every recipe is designed for someone who just wants to make a bunch of food and be done with it. However, if you do love tinkering, this is the recipe set for you, as one of the biggest things you'll notice is that it calls for tools you never thought of before. So, dust off that kitchen scale or go buy yourself one, because you're going to be using it.
Do that again. 346 grams of dark brown sugar.
100 grams of walnuts, 100 grams of walnuts.
Hurry up. And watch the scale go up and up and up.
For today's video, we decided to do a couple of desserts.
Midnight mug cake for two,
Yeah.
also known as midnight mug cake for one. This is bittersweet. I got 2 eggs. How much milk?
We had. Go ahead. Here's it.
Watch carefully as the cake rises from the mug inside of the microwave.
Oh, it looks so good. Now I'm gonna make mine. Okay.
And there you have it.
So first you crank the oven to 350 degrees. I got my handy dandy Walmart olive oil cook spray, which is... I got it on the book. Oh well, that'll happen. Oh, the cloud is rising. Okay. Do that. And there's a reason for this.
What's that you got there?
A sauteed pan. A sauteed pan and a lid.
Sorry.
I understand this because everything's in grams and crap. So we're going to have to use our scale. It's difficult being butter and having to unwrap yourself from being butter. Now I'm done. Pan over medium heat. So we have our exact 171 grams of, yeah.
100 grams of walnuts, 100 grams of walnuts, 100 grams of...
My chopped pecan.
You mean pecans?
No, I mean pecans.
Video. This is our unboxing video of pecans. This is very satisfying. We're gonna get hundreds of subscribers opening these pecans, and eventually
Get out of my way, 100 grams of
we're
walnuts.
gonna do the pecans and be very satisfying ASMR video and everything.
Ooh, beautiful, beautiful. The butter is simmering, boiling actually. Next to the bubbling butter.
An important part of the recipe, per the book, was that you have to toast these nuts in butter to enhance the flavor.
Remember the show Even Stevens?
Not at all.
It was a Disney show when I was a teenager.
I remember Odd Todd.
I don't remember that.
That's because it didn't exist.
Did Odd Dan exist?
Oh, absolutely.
That's what I thought.
Later that week.
Food in me. I might make me some turkey chili. We still leftovers left. That's a lot of baking powder. I'm mixing this. Furiously, I'm mixing it. I'm chopping these nuts for the rest of the recipe. This recipe is proving to be very interesting, and I'm not a professional, but I am Tabitha. This is the almond butter. We're beating the almond butter and the cold butter together. So we add the brown sugar. Okay, I have 2 large eggs added to the brown sugar and butters. And then we're adding the egg yolk.
As expected with Blondies, this uses a lot of vanilla. Folding in the flour with everything else gives it a sort of cookie dough
I
consistency.
don't blend it with a mixture. What do you think?
Yeah, just stir it in.
So I'm pulling in the nuts after I stirred in the flour, as it said.
So many nuts.
It was very much like cookie dough when we were done, and it took a little while to spread it over the pan, but we did it.
Oh, it looks delicious.
So the results, just like all the other recipes in this book that I've tried, were outstanding, and this was a perfect snack to eat while watching episodes of Good Eats. In conclusion, we both found this book to be a lot of fun and worth checking out.
100 grams of walnuts, 100 grams of walnuts, 100 grams of